The time has come to finally head down deeper into the prison to see if the the prison warden, excuse me, has any surprises for us in leading this prison revolt. Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader. We are going to head down into the prison because that's what Yvain Winterscale said would be helpful. We're going to support him in trying to see if we can't quell this rebellion and see what's truly going on. It sounds very, very sinister, and the things that are going on don't quite make sense. But we have to see what goes down, so let's get to it. All right, well, this is a rather grim scenario that we've seemed to have stumbled on. Bodies impaled on spikes. What is this? I don't know what that is. It does look like we have... Oh, there's Warden Casteglia, excuse me, along with some prisoners, some guards, some prisoners on tables. It looks like they're being examined or being experimented on. I don't know what these are, but they don't look good either. We noticed, or at least I noticed, that there's the same sort of lens structure over here, which doesn't bode very well for us. Overall, this is a small battlefield, but lots of terrain, so it should be interesting if it comes down to it to see what we got going on here. Let's head down. Cinematic time. Warden Casteglia. Everything in the appearance of this man walking towards you, his every gesture, and his very demeanor speaks of his noble birth. This creates a stark contrast with his hair, a matted knot that's clearly not seen a brush in weeks, and his crumpled and filthy clothing. His face is pale, his eyes burn feverishly. Who are you? I was expecting my friend Yvain, not an intrusion. Then your wait is over on. Yvain takes a step forward. However, I do not come alone. I am accompanied by the Honorable Lord von Lankius. Should have guessed it would be you. What do you want, enemy of Aurora? As the warden speaking, a strange sensation draws your attention towards the ground, specifically an open pit and the loose dirt. A single word spontaneously surfaces on your mind: cradle. The pit itself does not appear to be of much interest, but at some point it housed something of great importance, something faintly familiar to me. Yeah, how do you know who I am? Lies have many faces, but there is only one truth, and has been laid bare before me. I knew the enemy of truth would come here sooner or later. This isn't you. I don't know how it has come to this, but please let me... Quiet, Evie. I promise I will talk to you later, when we are alone. I can't say I'm eager to spend time alone with you, not after everything I've witnessed on Rakati Philia and what I'm witnessing right now. You know, we had this guy once. He was a quiet one. One day he walked into the middle deck bar, threw one back, pulled out a gun, and started shooting people left and right without saying a word. Then he shoved the barrel in his mouth, blew his brains out. Our warden here has exactly the same look in his eyes right now. Yeah, we want to figure out as much as possible. What madness have you wrought in this prison? Do you truly want to know? He becomes more animated and runs a hand through his matted hair. You note it's been some time since he last trimmed his nails. This was my garden, where I tried to grow the seedlings of a beautiful future. That was before I realized there is no future, not in the sense ordinary people understand. We're too attached to this life, to the limitations of our weak bodies, to the short-sightedness of our eyes that can scarcely see. It's all so insignificant. The true future lies beyond real space, and the only way to reach it is through a cleansing sacrifice. Do you understand? Well, I think that explains why you mutilated the people, so who is Aurora? Oh, so you managed to barge in here, interfere with my prophetess's designs without even knowing who she is. It's too late now. You'll never attain sight. All you can do is accept your fate. He suddenly stirs like a predatory beast. I do not like it when people take the prophetess Aurora's name in vain. I desire your death, enemy of truth. Wait! Garden raises his hand, and the main people start thrashing about in their death throes. The time for words is past. Optimates, give your power to this harbinger of Aurora. Let our foes seek the truth, or become awash in blood. All right. Now we see the truth. What are these now? Will they say? Alrighty then. Unholy lenses. Well, considering the significance... Let's see, there's 2 of them. There's 3 of them. I say we try and cleanse them, eh? I think that's a solid move. We're gonna move Abelard here. We're going to move Argenta. We'll move her there. Adira probably needs to get as close as she can to a group of people so she can use her chain lightning. So we're gonna put her over there. And then Gracchus, myself, we'll slap right there and hope that that works. All right, Argenta. There's a 75% chance, 74, 40. There's a 100% chance here. You know what, considering the beast that we faced back on the main ship, I'm gearing towards wanting to get these unholy lenses cleansed because I just don't know what they're about. 13, that works for me. We're not going to do shot on the run. That's not going to do anything for us. All right. I don't think she can move anywhere that's super beneficial. I can't study the enemy without getting too close, and I need to be cautious on how close I get. Let's move her. Oh, there we go. Can I attack? I cannot use anything on. And neither can I study any enemies, can I? I guess I can. Yeah, we'll study the Warden. Now that puts some stacks on him. Which does mean that the characteristic increases damage against the studied enemies, which is great. Ideally, I'll put them on like the Awoken Prisoners next time. And the Guards, so additional damage goes there. But until that point, there's nothing else we can really do. Deals 1d8 damage. Yeah, I don't think we're close enough for her to affect any of that. Nope, not yet. Probably next turn, though. Yeah, because that won't do anything to the Unholy Lens. Let's go ahead and end the turn. Oof. Oof. What are the odds of actually getting hit? All right, so this is myself. We're going to bring it down. I'm actually going to give it to Abelard. And with Abelard, I'm going to knock down this Unholy Lens. That breaks that, which is nice. Although he doesn't get to move. Although he should get a move at the end. We don't have anything of that nature. Let's go ahead and move Gracchus over to here. Abelard, you are next, sir. And this will allow you to really get into the muck and the mire. But I do also want to present myself with some cover. I'm wondering with all the guards and everyone else that has to move, if it wouldn't be better just to stay like right here. We're gonna brace for impact, assuming that he's going to be hit. I don't have anywhere to dash, so we're gonna be good there. All right, they all get their turns. Luckily that missed. She barely got nicked. Oof. Perfect. That's where we want them to be. Although ideally, these are the guys that we want to hit repeatedly. I didn't do anything. Why are you running away? Okay, so there's Argenta. Yeah, I have a 75% chance to hit that dude. Oh, and misses. Of course she did. Of course she did. We'll get a Warhammer, which grants our momentum, which will be good for us. Because remember, we need momentum for heroic acts and desperate measures. Only be used once per round, but we haven't ever gotten up to the point where we can use that. I'm not willing to do military excellence yet, and I can't even do it even if I wanted to, because that is a desperate measure. But we may get there. You never know. Nothing else really makes sense here. I think she... Yeah, we don't have enough stuff to do another one, which is fine. Now, this is where I could use... But it looks like it won't affect him. So maybe we don't do that yet, but I can do the Scream.
Anything else?
And that did a very nice attack overall. And then Awoken Prisoners. I wish I could do the Guards. But we're going to study... Oh, I can't study. because I'm not close enough and I've used up all my points. Never mind. Never mind. Let's... Ugh.
On it.
Yeah, let's study all these guys. So the Awoken Prisoner is where that happens, which is fine. Daggum, they're good at that. Gracchus Valenkia. Let's go ahead and give Adira a voice of command. No, I want to do bring it down. Because I want to give Adira the chance to expose a weakness, especially against the Awoken Prisoners. But apparently I can't do that. Well, that's very unfortunate. Okay, well then we'll just use forewarning. Forewarning against Abelard to kind of help him a good bit. So that's unfortunate. That's not what I wanted to have happen, but it's what happened nonetheless. Apparently I can't hit that. There's no line of sight, which is fine. There's a very, very low chance of me being able to actually hit these guys. We're gonna try anyways. Yep, there we go. Way to go, buddy. You're the best. We're gonna go ahead and end the turn there. Now, Abelard could come down here and work on him. But I don't know if that would be the most wise use. Because he is rather large and I really want to take advantage of it. We are going to...
At your beck and call.
Make those guys come after him. Yeah, we're going to chill here. I still want to have him as a defensive force at the moment. There we go. A nice dodge. Holy cow. Very nice. Dodge that as well. Why are you moving away to shoot? I mean, that works, but why are you moving away to do it? I don't feel like that works very well. Especially considering you're using an auto pistol. She's been dodging everything, which is fantastic. Marksman gains the ability to take a number of free attacks equal to their weapon rate with the cheapest weapon attack ability.
Power resides in the will of the righteous.
And I'm gonna dash.
I'll do it.
There we go, so she can't do anything. Or so these guys can't do anything, rather.
I'll do it.
Ah, come on.
Doubt is for the weak.
Come on! You're killing me.
Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, I act.
She's not. She just can't do anything. That's fine. It's unfortunate, but it's fine. Okay, Adira. She probably still can't use anything. We could just simply attack. Oh no, I was gonna expose the weakness.
I'm not so sure.
I do have line of sight to the target. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, well then let's... And then studying the enemy doesn't do anything for me. And unfortunately her last pistol doesn't do anything either, simply because we're out of points. Apparently she doesn't have line of sight to any of these guys, and I don't quite understand that, but it may just be a limitation of my understanding. Okay, Marcus Valenkius. We're gonna imbue Abelard. And unfortunately, I just realized that I didn't bring anything into this battle regarding like med kits and stuff. So I kind of shot myself in the foot there. And it doesn't help that I can't hit anything. I'm gonna bring it down. We're gonna give it to Abelard, and he's gonna do like 2 massive hits.
Indeed.
Unless he misses completely, which is always a possibility.
I'd rather not. It
Come
will
on,
be
buddy. There we go, 17. That's nice.
done. I'm not interested.
Not much else we can do. I think we're gonna, yeah, oh my word, that hurts. That hurts as well. And there he goes. Oh, I guess he's technically not dead. You guys aren't doing much either. All right. Let's dash
I'll do it.
so that I can shoot. That doesn't still give me much hope.
As the Emperor commits,
There we go.
pray.
That works for me. Idira. There we go. And then I'm going to scream at him. Timely predictions. Increases the dodge and parry by 2.
Will do.
There we go. So that should kind of give him a lot of positives.
Feel cold.
Oof. I don't know that we're going to win this. 13 to 16 damage. Let me give that to myself. I think I can hit him. All right, there we go. Okay. Well, now we know what those unholy lenses do. Okay, that's fun. Well, the positive here, I guess, is that we are able to... let's see. We only have 2 guards. We only have 2 guards left. Well, no, we have 3 guards. They must have just already gone in turn. Yep, that's what it is. Okay, so we still need to, you know, imbue myself with other things. Inventory, can I not use a med kit? Can't be equipped by this character. Okay, equip in combat's impossible. Okay, so we did kind of screw ourselves over a bit. Unless she has one, she does not. Okay, all right. That is what it is. It's unfortunate, but nothing I can do. Just want to try and keep Abelard alive as much as possible. Let's see this. Let's give him right here so we can get full cover. But if we go here, we're gonna risk it for a biscuit, simply because I should be able. Oh, boo! Fighter immediately restores movement points.
No matter the cost.
There we go.
Follow my lead.
There we are. Nice. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it.
I will do my duty.
Okay, well, at least it's... Oh, we can do it twice? There we go.
You a target.
There we go.
It will be done. Someone else can do
Okay, no, that's fine. Very nice last stand, Abelard. There we go. Perfect. Cover? Even more perfect. Those enforcers aren't doing anything, which doesn't quite make sense for me, but that's okay. We're gonna head down here. Can I even try to hit? I guess I could try to hit, couldn't I? 40%. There we go. That works. Way to go, lady.
I'll do it.
Scary lady. I'm terrified of her. Adira.
What?
I can expose that weakness again.
Or
And that's not within my sights, which is fine. But I can study that enemy. There we go. And then we're going to move a bit down over here. Good to go. Yep, there he goes. But he's not dead, if I remember correctly. Like, that's not what's going on. Leader gives an allied additional turn with full AP and MP. I'm gonna give that to Agenta. And Agenta...
Faith without deeds is worthless.
There we go. If we destroy all 3 of those, then he can't do anything.
Commands, I act.
Oh, come on, Agenta. Brilliant. Okay, he can no longer revive.
The weak.
Ah, and you missed. That's okay. That's okay. Gracchus, myself, we have to move. Gonna get behind cover. That's fine. Like, miss big time, please and thank you. There you go. I mean, you haven't really done much this whole time, so if you kill him, I'll be a bit upset. But that's all right as well. What is this? Oh, we need to reload? No, we're gonna take our chances. There we go. And then there's nowhere I could dash, so I'm actually not gonna worry about it. Agenta.
What is this foreboding?
Again, there's nothing I could do there, but we could expose the weakness. Actually, I think we need to study him again. I think he's out of... Oh, no, he's not. I just wasn't looking right. And we're going to expose, which should help. And then we are going to use forewarning on myself because I am the Adira, or on herself, excuse me. Adira is the most vulnerable person at the moment. That may have saved our lives. I don't know. May have saved her life. We're going to... Oh, target's too far away. Melee attacks do bonus damage. I don't want that. Let's give that to Adira. And then we're just going to be good. Missed again? You're gonna kill him, aren't you? All right. I think she has the capacity to. Come on, bring him down. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, no, well done. Well done indeed. That's all we're gonna do there. I still think we have to get behind cover. I can shout at him. I probably should have done that after I did expose weakness, but I can also do dismantling attack.
Not this Scryer's draw.
Okay, I have no line of sight. I don't know that that's true.
Will do.
I'm gonna protect her just a little bit again. And the turn. That's fine. We can take that hit. Target's too far. Let's get closer, and then we're gonna do bring it down. Give Adira a bonus action. Still can't do anything? Okay, that's a little frustrating. We'll expose the weakness again. And then we're walking rumble. If you want to kill him, that's fine. Greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna move her. She's a little exposed here, but he's not gonna kill her. We're gonna reload. And then that's all I'm gonna be able to do. Adira, though.
Cover me. I'm not so sure.
Should be able to kill him. Brilliant. Yvain approaches the body of his friend, remains silent. Then he looks at the quarry. His gaze is dark. Everything here must be purged with fire. And what have you done? Yes, we're gonna poke. Curious indeed. Just what exactly has he done here? I do not know, nor do I want to know. These ravaged people, this strange glass, all this talk of Aurora, these are abundantly clear signs of lunacy and heresy. I wish I could understand how the man I knew came to be this way, but one should not peer into the abyss. You know what? I just don't know how I feel about this dude. I'm going to go with number 3. I must take my leave. You must have your own duties to attend to. I wish you all the best, Lord von Belenkius. Lord Captain's put an end to this horrible chapter. All right. All right. Well, that's one area down. Mutilated man doesn't stir, bound in the shackles. Let's Skin crawls as you approach this place. Doesn't appear to be anything of note. We do have prisoners who have things like a carapace chest piece, which may actually be darn nice.
Carry the Emperor's will as your torch.
What do we got over here? Crippled man's appearance is ghastly, evidence he was being cared for after his mutilation. Okay, and then we need to go after all of the inventory of all these guards and stuff. Even if it doesn't really matter, they may not have a lot of good things. Even a las gun isn't too bad. What is this? Let's accept it all. Is that... Alright, we still have lots of stuff everywhere. I do wish it was like a collect all of them. Stub revolver. Does, this man didn't really have anything, did he? Here we go. There's some prisoners there. We're going to collect this and we'll be right back. Your eyes drawn to the shards of the enormous lens scattered about the broken device. At first, you're uncertain as to what troubles you. Suddenly, the realization hits you. The glass shimmers in a unique way, just the same as the shards of the unknown broken object you found near Theodora von Valancius's desk. Ooh. What's the matter, Lord Captain? Why are you so interested in... Abelard trails off when he notices what you're looking at. He instantly makes connection. By the Imperium Saints, it cannot be. I see it too. Whatever that thing in her study was, it was made from the same material as this junk. What? What? He's at a loss for words. Takes a moment to collect himself. It's a mistake, a libel of chaos. Slander means to blemish the good name of a person who is now dead and cannot even defend herself. First, those minions of chaos murdered Lord Captain Theodora, and now this cannot be tolerated. It will not be tolerated. Come on now, Abelard. Remember what she was like. Indira's smile betrays her grief at the same time. Strangely knowing. Brazen, assertive. It was like her entire life was a race against fate until fate caught up with her in the end. She would have gone headfirst into a black hole if she'd known it would put her one step ahead of everyone else on the expanse. If we could just find out what she was keeping in her desk and why she wanted to get it during the attack. Sister Argenta's beautiful face is full of grief. How bitter it is to know you were born from bad blood, but do not empower this knowledge to drag you into the darkness. The perception check succeeded. Sister's words ring with a genuine, sincere hope that you be blessed with a worthier fate. She does not appear to be shocked by the news of possible heresy. Life must be so easy for you sanctimonious preachers. A dubious trinket, and you no longer see a person, you see bad blood, an annoying hindrance. It's enough venom to poison an entire regiment. Argenta recoils, but next moment her dark eyes ignite with fury. How dare you admonish me? We are speaking of abetting chaos. A person who has tainted themselves, thus can never justify their actions. Yes, yes, chaos schmaos. Except, dear friends, I seem to remember you waddling behind Theodora like a baby duck does its mother. You didn't leave her side for even a moment while you were aboard the ship. She rescued you, aided you, and your adoration wilted the moment you heard an accusation sullying her memory. You weren't surprised or upset, you just gave up on her and moved on. Whoa, tensions are high. Goodness gracious. Okay, well, we're gonna finish looting and we're gonna head back to the ship unless another surprise awaits us. All right, so Rakati Philia has been, I guess, liberated, if you want to call it that. I don't know that I would. We have Rykad Minoris, which is our starport, and then Urak 5. Now, if we were to go to our journal, we need to land on Rykad Minoris and make contact with the Navis Nobilite station. We also have things like New Blood, Machine Spirit Keeper that we need to work on, and the guide. We need to find those, but looking for trouble, we can land on Rykad Minoris, which is probably where we should go, and then make contact with Navis Nobilite. So Rykad Minoris, here we come. On our way, Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. Vidgis pauses as if listening. There's some pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Wasirian's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance. Thank you, Voxmaster. I love that turnaround. Everyday sounds of the bridge are disrupted by voices raised in anger, Abelard's voice loudest. This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a highborn brat out on a lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. The young woman standing before Abelard strives with all of her might not to quail under the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters, but then manages to look him in the eye. I apologize, but I must speak to the Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, not least because I see you've already been fit to serve him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence towards a higher rank officer will be logged in your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Arvrilla Vent requesting permission to speak. Vent falls silent and adds rashly, on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. You may speak, but I want to hear a report, not a shouting match. Having two officers bickering in full view of the bridge is unacceptable. I am sorry, Lord Captain. I thought that drastic times called for drastic measures. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks on orders to crush the worker strike by any means necessary. But I'm convinced that this step is unwarranted, that the crisis itself was provoked by the action of one of the senior officers. She's trembling with tension as she delivers her speech, her face extremely pale. Abelard, in no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Wiserion and to intervene in what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we'll have a mutiny. Reels off her last words as though she knows them by heart. She's clearly been preparing to say them for some time. When she's finished, she casts an anxious glance at Abelard, then at you. There's an insurrection in making aboard my own ship and no one's informed me. I would not deem it a problem worthy of the rogue traders' attention. The lower decks are in revolt. 30-some years ago, we even had a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rules across the entire ship. It took a month to restore order, but even 8 years later, we were still battling rumors that the hero had survived his execution and was on the verge of gathering people to fight the tyranny once more. Needless to say, the rumors were baseless. As for the current situation, we have sufficient enforcers to deal with it. But on this ship, the word of the Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo from 100 bolters. I'm sure if the rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, he will quell the unrest. I dread to think what problem you will disturb the rogue trader with next. Perhaps you'll ask the Lord Captain to break up brawls in the mess room. I've already given you means to resolve this problem, you simply need to use them. If I may, your lordship, sending a hit squad to crush the rebellion is a means of ignoring the problem, not solving it. Where does Seneschal Wiserion come into this? I shall explain. I beg you to hurry, time is running out. I will not hurry. Since my competence is under scrutiny, I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There's an established order on the way things are done on the ship, and one of the pillars is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I've always handled the internal problems myself, so of course, when I received information about pirates hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valankius will find refuge on her ship. You were far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Wiserion. Arrests, interrogation, mass punishments for the entire sectors. It was driven the people to the brink. Now there's a strike on the lower decks, in Depot 4 to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate to an all-out insurrection, but when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit, crush the strike force with maximum force. Abelard, what do you have to say on this? I see no need to add anything. I acted within the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections. For my part, I urge the Lord Captain to go down to the lower deck, stop the assault unit, and speak directly to the people. You'll see they're not lying or harboring pirates. That way, you can stop the uprising before it begins. I struggle with the weight of being a baddie because I'm not good at it. I'm going to roll with number 5. I'm certain the Seneschal was acting within his authority, but I'll verify the soundness of his decisions for myself. Throne preserve you, Lord Captain. I thank you for your support. An enterprise boarding on the sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Alright, must assess the actions. Let's do it. Group manager accept. Hey, it's Wiserion. Take that, scum. Oh, wow. Look who it is. This is all his fault. All of it. Abelard reflectively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startling human gesture, and a telling one. A rare moment where he allows his age and weariness to show through. Lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. The people dared to disrespect a senior officer. They would not have the chance to express such disrespect if we were not here and if the situation had been dealt with by relevant officers. It's the juniors officers worth failing to pass problems up the chain. Never been able to abide it. I'll say it again. It was a mistake to come down here on Lieutenant Vince whim, Lord Captain. I must admit that the lieutenant is by no means the worst material for an officer. By no means, he adds peevishly. But in the name of Tara, the girl is the same age as my eldest great-granddaughter, and she has the gall to tell me how to manage the lower decks and hunt down pirates. It will be another 20 years at least before she can entrusted to act without oversight. Let's get on with it. Alright, what do we got over here? A nest made out of thermal insulation must be where the workers sleep between shifts. Interesting, interesting. Lower deck rabble, I suppose I can't interact with them in the same way. And it looks like we're gonna have to just kind of explore this area ourselves. Nobles from the upper decks down here to see us. Oh, ho, ho, that's very right. Greetings, your grace, that's right. The sounds of a heated discussion reverberate through the ship's base. Lieutenant Arvrilla, vent to the ship's enforcers, is barring the path of a heavily built assault unit officer. And judging by their expressions, the standoff has dragged on for some time and has reached a boiling point. I have my orders. Put an end to the unrest and purge the sector. You can take yours and shove them. This is my deck and my sector. There are only 3 people who can waltz in here without my express permission: the first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. But not all my lessons fall on deaf ears, mutters in crabby approval. He does not clarify whether he means Lieutenant Vint or the officer looming over her, or both. Your lordship! The 2 juniors snap to attention, salute their subordinates following a moment later. What's the situation? People have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control as far as resources allow. We encountered some locals. Their conduct was outrageous. People are getting desperate. Clearly, they saw the assault unit. They decided they had nothing left to lose. I mean, I apologize, Lord Captain. It is outrageous. I'm sure the people simply didn't recognize you. Wouldn't have occurred otherwise. We will deal with them once the current situation is resolved. Is that all you have to say? You sure you're worthy of an officer's rank? She pales slightly but straightens up. Forgive me, Lord Captain. I will take steps to ensure such a thing does not happen again. I still want to speak to them. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck. Just a note that my officers are ready to fire should anything happen. Let's see what's going on here. A dozen pair of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants. You take in their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display various levels of mutation, from barely indiscernible to the strange to the outright grotesque. A whisper passes through the crowd, detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy. 3 people break away, an elderly woman and 2 men. They bow clumsily. Well, Lord Captain, you've come down to us. We were attacked on the way here. Here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit and now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here like that one that Lieutenant won't let past. Our clans are all inside the bay that's been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there are some people who've just had about enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. A death squad's just arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out. My awareness check succeeded. Their words seem sincere. Their body language traded between them revealed the news of the attack has shocked them. All right, well, good. Why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us, your lordship, says the tall man. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Shut up, beanpole. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for pirates. One wrong word and they're reaching for the batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to whole bays for weeks at a time, so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers. She spits on the floor and rubs the spittle with the toe of her worn-out shoe. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. It's all true. Vent is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up in midships and no fellow feelings towards us. Your lordship, we're no villains here. We're honest workers, your servants. We plotted no disorder, we went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. The persecution started apropos of nothing, you say. I was told one of you found in possession a cultist amulet. There are pirates hiding here. A cultist amulet? What's that? The gewgaw they found on the dead drunkard. If that was something evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for pirates, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be pirates here? We know our own people. We've seen no new faces around. It's actually a really good point. We'd be the first to report them. As for this amulet, they took it off a dead body. There are no pirates still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies. The boots they came back with, nobody ever tread these decks in boots so fine, I can tell you that. Seems to me, these pirates have had better commanders than us. Oh yeah, those boots really were fine. It's no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pickpocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor, and when we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motor. Same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling. Believe us, your lordship. We are people of faith. Naive children. Weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the arch enemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I'd had my third little one. That is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when the beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretics? Holy Father who was not there, or the scavenger who brought evil down on himself and his neighbors? Alright, Abelard, what do you got? I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me. He frowns, clearly disgruntled, having to explain himself. Nevertheless, I am certain their actions were justified. Heretic pirates are no drunken stevedores. They are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. Alright, what changes do you want then? Would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain himself is asking us bilge rats what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your danged enforcers, quit turning off the heat, stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here. We want to be armed. Give us arms, we'll govern ourselves, we'll defend ourselves if these pirates do show their faces. Been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. Oof, I don't know about that. You've gone too far, old man. They'll never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably even insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the pirates' bodies. We'll talk to them, one lower decker to another. If there's any more of those damned amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. You speak for yourself in your clan, I'll speak for me and mine. We don't want empty gestures, we want real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the anointed one turns us back, these brutes will be on us, all because we dared to speak out. The tall worker's eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds, he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time he falls silent. We're going to attempt a coercion check. Spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step towards embracing chaos. Putting weapons in untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands, we will consider the rest. Dang it! Tall worker they call Beanpole flinches nervously, but he casts a glance at the tall old woman and says nothing. I don't like seeing the clans of Depot 4 at odds with each other, but I agree. I won't demand the disbanding of the enforcers. The old woman, hands cut through the airs. I'd rather be gunned down by the enforcers than back out now. They'll have us all killed anyway, sooner or later. What are your thoughts, Abelard? Stories about scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up a heretical amulet don't convince me. These peoples were moments away from rebelling and possibly becoming minions of the arch enemy. We must not give them what they want. Even if they did acquire something innocently, purely out of their own stupidity, doesn't mean they are not tainted with corruption. What begins as petty thievery can turn into a far graver problem. We've seen it before. His face darkens momentarily. In my second war, there was a sergeant in the Imperial Guard regiment that was stationed nearby. Sergeant took an ordinary pocket knife from the body of a heretic, and his whole unit lost their lives for it. When they finally managed to break into the barracks, they found not a single survivor, only the pocket knife, which had grown through all the rows of beds like a metal choking vine. So, when it comes to scavengers, malcontent strikers, whatever they'll turn to next, my verdict is simple: give them no quarter. I gotta say, despite, I don't know, I feel the checks that we're going here, these people are sincere, and as awful of a person that I'm supposed to be, I don't feel like gunning them down is going to do anything good for my own ship. I can certainly be ruthless and relentless against enemies or, you know, people outside of my ship, but these people are in control of this sector. I'm going to be lenient, but not too lenient. Then it's decided the harassment will end. I expect the clans who have agreed here to assist in locating pirate amulets and weapons. Anyone who refuses will be punished. The old woman's face pales. She merely grits her teeth and spits on the floor again. Sorry, old man. I'm not putting my life and my whole clan's lives on the line because of your stubbornness. We are most eager to assist. We'll get right to it, Lord Captain. There we go. This is complete bedlam. He did not enjoy that move. I think Abelard's a little too harsh. For sure. Like that's just a little too crucial, I guess you could say. Like it's just not worth it. A multi-key, nice. Everything else, I don't think we can explore or look at. I think we're pretty good regarding treasures, so let's head back up. Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard imperiously dismisses the unit to stand at a distance, then addresses your other companions. I have an urgent matter to discuss with the Lord Captain. Please give us a moment. What is it, Abelard? Abelard looks at you. Were you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtowed to the disloyal rabble. You believed their lies and showed them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by pirates, that rabble will welcome them with open arms, allow them to wreak whatever havoc they like because they see you as a weak leader. Is that how you see your future at the helm of Von Valankia's protectorate? How about this? Let's talk about your role in all this instead. You allowed this revolt to happen. Your actions practically guaranteed that it would. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene. Remember Lord Captain Theodora. Do you think she ever let one slippered foot in the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers while she dedicated herself to grand designs for the protectorate, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought. Whew. Whew, there's some big decisions here. Here we go. Maybe if Theodora had spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There is a new Lord Captain aboard the ship now, and I will not repeat her mistake. Abelard looks at you stunned, exhaled loudly, then he nods curtly. I commend your decisiveness, but I am uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. I think it's the best time to do. The best time. And, stand straight, I lost my temper, Lord Captain, and I believe I ought to explain myself. Abelard speaks slowly, the words not coming easily. The prosperity of the Von Valankia's protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodora's deeds the signs of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds. They create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers, and I embarked on this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods, to distant frontiers, scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire protectorate rested on my shoulders. And then suddenly, everything that had been built over years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hanger on a seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what's happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All of this has come to a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible, and to do this, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with in tried and tested procedures set out on the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. There's a lot of really heavy decisions here. I feel like this one. I'm struggling between 1 and 2. I feel like they are both the hardline stance that I want to take. I understand, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain and Rogue Trader. Accept it and start living in the new world. A world where Theodora is gone and where you and I have new decisions to make. Because I don't want to take him off my staff. He's a very important dude. Abelard solemnly inclines his head. Yes, Lord Captain. After a moment's silence, he adds, your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment, should my old habits ever begin to creep in. Good, that's what I want. A hardline status that doesn't completely remove him and his trust in me, but still gets things done. And now, please let us leave the lower decks. If the rogue trader desires to stretch his legs, there are far more suitable places. All right, let's head to the Void Ship Bridge. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I do think we're going to wrap it up here. It's a great way to end this episode with a rather tense situation with Abelard. But I think it's going to work out in the end. Being the baddie isn't always the best, but a hardline, strong stance that this is my ship, I am the Lord Captain now, and he needs to adapt will hopefully create a break in his old way of life with Theodora and a new line of trust and loyalty with myself, and I think it can only go up from there. That is the end of this episode, ladies and gentlemen, so I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know all the ways you can support the channel. Thank you so much for all the support and comments in the comments section below, and I'll see you in the next one.